Alrighty, we're starting with Girardi Brigitte 15 Dan pantyhose. They are made of double covered lycra. They are fully boarded. They have a wide, comfortable waist. This pantyhose comes with cotton gusset, but on sizes 4 and 5, they come with a back panel. Made in Italy, and they contain 88% of nylon and 11% of lycra. Alright, in this close-up view you can see that they are sheer to waist and they have a T waistband. They're pretty stretchy. And they got a back panel as been mentioned before because this is size 4. For the lower sizes, they would have a cotton gusset. This model comes with reinforced toes, which are visible on a close-up, but is still really thin. So probably when you will be wearing them with your shoes, it's not going to be that visible, but you will know it's there. And here we go with the try-on and the modeling afterwards. As you can see, it's already pretty obvious that the shade is way darker than my skin, though they do get stretched out and look a little bit lighter than when they are just in a bag. But with 15 Dan, you already can definitely tell the shades way more than with the lower denier that we tried previously. It is a little bit tight to put on, same as the previous pairs, but also I am nervous as always because the thinner than 20 Dan makes me sweat to put them on, because I'm just not wishing to rip them, and that actually happens pretty often. In this situation, we're good. Made it without any casualties. Smooth and nice with a little bit of shine to them. They are pretty comfortable, even though they are a bit tight on my hips, but they do not make me feel uncomfortable while moving. So that's good. Nice quality. Alright, now it's time for modeling without shoes and then with shoes, where you will be able to see how it looks like and how the reinforced toe looks like as well. In general, this pantyhose looks pretty nice and they do feel good on your skin. They are pretty soft and smooth to the touch, both your hands and on the leg. I feel like they would enhance the outfits pretty well. And now is the time for the close-up, where you can see how nice the fabric looks. And last but not least is Girardi Elen 20 Dan pantyhose. They got double covered lycra, they are fully boarded, also got wide and comfort waist. They come with a cotton gusset and the sizes 4 come with a back panel. They are made in Italy and their materials are 90% of nylon, 9% of lycra, and 1% of cotton, which is in the gusset if you got that one. In this close-up, you can see that they are also sheer to waist. They got a T waistband They also have a back panel, as been mentioned, because that is size 4. And they would have a cotton gusset if that would be a lower size. As well, they have a reinforced toes. You can see that they are stretchy, but at the same time a little bit tighter. And you can definitely tell that those are the highest denier out of all 5 that I tried. Moving on to the try on and the modeling. This is pretty obvious that this pair is the darkest out of all 5 that I've tried. You also can tell that they are the highest denier, because even though they are still sheer, because 20 den is the optimal denier if you want to have a little bit more durability, but at the same time still have it sheer to be showing off your tattoos, or maybe your pedicure, or maybe you're wearing some sort of anklets and you want to show them off. The 20 den would be pretty good because they would endure a lot more than the lower den, obviously. They are still a bit tight on my hips, but this is just my thing, I guess. Somewhere in the comments I've seen people saying that a lot of times Italian pantyhose would be tighter, so it would be hard to use them if you are a heavier person or a thicker person, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so here's a little look. They also got some shine, which is pretty cool. It looks very nice. Look at those legs. Okay. Let's do a little bit of modeling here and go to our POV and then the wrap up. In general, this pair is pretty nice as well. To be honest, I feel like throughout all of the 5, there is not so much that I can be unhappy with. The only problem for me would be the sizing, but it's not like I can do anything about that. There are some shades that had a bigger size, which is 5, but I decided to pick the 10. Anyhow, I will say a little bit more in the wrap up. So let's get to POV and a little bit of chatting. So those were our 2 pantyhose, which are 15 and 20 den from Girardi. I just want to make a quick wrap up here. So all of them are pretty good. You gotta think about them having 4 as the biggest size available for all of those, I think. Let me double check real quick. So yeah, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so size 4 is the biggest size, at least from what I can see from the website at the moment. Yeah, I was wrong about that one. I mean, not completely, because most of those models do only have size 4 as the biggest option, but our Brigitte 15 got few colors that would allow you to buy a size 5 if you want to get them. And it comes with a back panel, so that's just the way it is. We can name some like similarities in between all of them. So we've got one that they're all 5 of those are fully boarded, and 5 den, 10 den, 15 and 16 den made with double layered lycra, which were pointed out in the description. And for the 8 den, it is 3D microfiber yarn. So the Elen is a different type of pantyhose. As you could see from the video, they look really small, but they stretch like a lot. So that's the thing about this 3D yarn that they have. In general, aside from the Elen, all of them actually feels the same, so I feel they probably were literally made the same way from the same type of yarn, as I just pointed out before. And the difference is the denier, which will give you the difference in durability of those pantyhose, and obviously the look, of course, but for these qualities also they are glossy. 5 Dan, 10, 15, and 16 are glossy. Elen, they have like a powder effect, so they will not be shiny or anything, but again, just different type of hosiery there. They were made in different way and for a different purpose technically, because they, as they call them here, a second skin, which is actually not wrong, because when you put the Elen on, they are extremely smooth and soft. I've tried that type of material before once, and it is pretty good. And the same thing as here, those pantyhose were extremely small when you take them out of the box, but they stretch a bunch on you. Unfortunately, for thicker people, this might not be a very good idea, because even though they do stretch, and I don't know how that happened, but I managed to put all of them on without ripping any, but they were pretty tight on me. So I would say probably for someone who would have wider hips, or I don't know, who's taller than me, who is taller than me, it might not be comfortable to wear them. And also the back panel lines would not actually get to my butt cheeks. They would be kind of covering my hip under the butt cheeks, which I think is because I'm tall. If I would be shorter, they would probably be a better fit. In general, they were still pretty comfortable to wear, and when you already have them on, it doesn't feel like you're gonna rip them real fast, to be honest. So, I mean, obviously 5 Dan, you gotta be careful no matter how you feel, but still. The 15 and 20 Dan is a little bit tighter because they are thicker, so they kind of hug your legs tighter because of that, but they're more durable. Also, the thing that we have to point out is that 5 Dan and 8 Dan do not have a reinforced toe, but starting with 10 Dan, we already see that. So 10 Dan would have reinforced toe, 15 and 20 as well, which is pretty good. I mean, yeah, for a look, some people do not like to have reinforced toes and they just prefer to have them like sheer completely, but reinforced toes can help a lot with durability as well, because a lot of times with pedicures and everything, you can just rub the toenails onto the fabric that much that they just make a little hole or a run. So reinforced toe is a good thing for for durability technically. Also, they are all sheer to waist with a T-band waistband. Pretty smooth, soft enough, though again, the sizing is just very important to have a right size for you. And I do recommend to check the size chart, even though sometimes it doesn't really match, but it's still gonna be helpful to do that, just for your own safety. And like to make a decision if you think that would be the right choice to do. Though the price wise, they're all right. I mean, they're in the mid-range. As for me, I feel like that anything that goes higher than $30, probably you can be considering like over 30 is going to be like a higher probably. But so we have a Summer Light, $13, Top 8, $14, Elegance 10 is 13. Brigitte 15 is 12, excuse me, $12. And Elen 20 is $12 as well. So this is not bad, especially for the higher denier, which would probably last you longer. So as I always say, that it is your decision if you want to wear it, if you want to try it, but I would say at least once. If you love the look and you're curious about the feeling that it gives, go ahead, get one pair, try it, and if you like it, just go and order a bunch. In general, that was actually a pretty good experience because I never had this brand before at all, ever, and never even actually heard about them. So testing just a regular classic type of pantyhose is a nice thing for everyday wear. And yeah, you can just figure out if you like it or not, and if you want to go for it. And I'm glad that there are options that are cheaper, and that even if you unfortunately get them ripped, it's not going to be the end of the world. Well, that's about it, I guess, guys. Again, give it a try. And also, just a little note that, as I said before as well, that unfortunately you couldn't really see the big difference in the shades at the very start for those three pairs, which are 5, 10, 8, 10. I did not think that through, but I'm pretty sure that 15 and 20 you do see the difference pretty well on the videos. So, but you definitely can compare 5 and 20. 20 is way darker, right? Well, anyways, thank you very much for watching that. I hope you have a good time. Please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.